What's good? I'm back. Finished the elephant. That was really good. I enjoyed the way it turned out. And you can see it in the thumbnail of the previous video. It actually turned out really nice. And the fact that it's a round geometry means that the shine of the PLA silk really comes out. But today is a new day, and so we'll be doing a new project. Now I was going through the ideas. I added a few more. So robot dog. That's probably like something in the the distant future. Coin holder, that's something I do want to work on. So I'm gonna bold that. And then my mate was telling me, oh, God, I gave my mate a jewelry holder. He makes rings, so it kind of worked out. And he was like, oh, this actually works. And I was like, wow, that's great. But he was like, oh, I'll do something pirate themed next time. And I was like, you know what? That's not a bad idea. So coin holder, pirate themed, what better than a chest, right? So we're going to be making treasure chest. Now, I guess this could hold anything. I'm gonna make it to hold my coins, but I'm gonna have it with an attachment to hold coins. So I'll make it big enough to hold like a lot of stuff, but I want it to specifically for me hold coins. So let me get my ruler out. See how many coins I got. Up here. Low key. How do I big do I make? So I only have. I have 180 centimeters to work with on my print bed. So what I'm thinking is I go 150 centimeters, and this is just based off of me using like the rough estimate of how big my coins are. So let's go center point rectangle. Lengthwise we'll go 150. Now height wise, I do want these numbers to be even because it makes my life a lot easier. So Australian coins, we have the 5 cents, the 10 cents, the 20 cent, the 50 cent, the $1, and the $2. 6 coins. So the easy solution would go 2 by 3. And so we got 2 by 3 in a ratio that becomes 100 to 150. And I actually really like that number, so I'm going to use that. Now I am going to then extrude this, but I'm going to extrude it the other way. So I'm going to go minus 2.5. We don't really need these walls to be thick. And then I'm going to sketch on here. And the reason I've gone down is so that when I sketch on this plane, eventually when I create the input piece, I'll explain what I mean later, it's on the origin. And so if any irregular constraints come up, I can always strain myself to the origin or constrain myself to the origin. So what we're going to do is we're going to offset, which should be in modify. And the offset will trace around this outside edge. I can bring it in by however much I want. So I'm going to go 2.5 once again. Oh, sorry, I should say I want to go minus 2.5 because 2.5 brings it outward, minus 2.5 brings it inwards. To finish the sketch and then bring that up. How much I want to bring it up? I'm going to bring it up 100, same as the width. Looks like a square. That's not a bad idea, but the thing is with this, I will have to print this in 2 separate pieces. The lid is going to be separate to the container, and that's okay. But low-key, I don't like that. I want it to be a little shorter, 50 maybe. Well, let's take some inspiration. Let's look at treasure chest. Yar, matey, I need me some booty, some treasure. Get me going, lad. These are kind of flat, and this one's like it's spreads outwards. That's the type of look I'm going for. Half semicircular prism with a rectangular prism base. That one's not bad, but I want that classic piratey look. So these are reinforced with iron and then filled out with wood because that's how they would have constructed it back in the day. So I suppose I can do the same thing, but for now I want to make the base. Not the base, sorry, the shape. So I'm gonna make it 100 total height, but I'm gonna start with 50 and 50. Let's create. Oops. Let's create something, and I also want a locking latch, so to speak. Do I need a locking? Maybe I don't need a locking. Locking would be not necessary. Alright, so let's see. That's pretty cool. But yeah, I'll have a designed latch at least. but it's just going to open up and reveal coins on the inside. That's all well and good. Am I sketching? Yeah, I'm sketching. Right, that's the box. Let's create the lid. So to create this lid, I'm going to go from the edge here and constrain it based on that. And looking at these, I want this sort of shape. It's just a semicircle. It's kind of easy. We'll just go circle from here to here, and then extrude that here and make that as a new body. And I'm going to rename this body actually. We're going to call this, what are we going to call this? Oh, actually I might have messed up. Yes, well, I'm going to change my mind, but we'll do that in a second. We're going to call this, oh my god, there we go. No, that's not what I want to do. I do not want to do that. Rename chest bottom. Oh, you used to be able to double click and then do that. I guess you can't now. Chest lid. There we go. Now back to this one. I'm going to amend this by offsetting the circle inwards minus 2.5. I can change all these constraints later. So it's done minus 0.25, minus 2.5. There we go. Minus, and then I can finish that and change my extrusion to like that. So that gives me that sort of hollow shell type shape. And then what I'll do is I'm going to go here, draw a line from the bottom left corner to the right left corner, and then bring that in 2.5. But what I want to do is I want it to connect, but I don't want to connect the entire bottom, so I'm going to turn off the bottom, do that, and now that connects it to the top. And we're just going to do the same on this side. I could mirror the feature, but the effort to mirror this and the effort it takes to do this feature is like roughly the same. So now it gives us the lid, that gives us that, and we have a nice shape now. Now the thing is, I don't need to be constrained by wood, because wood is not what we're working with. We're working with plastic and additive manufacturing. So I'm constrained by printing, but I'm not constrained by construction. How do I do this? They all have a rectangular ledge. Could make it magnetic. Oh, magnetic is not a bad idea. Let me check my magnets actually. Where did I put my magnets? Oh, I probably put it in my toolbox, didn't I? Oh, that's gonna be a pain to get from the garage. Why does it smell weird? Yeah, unfortunately my magnets are not with me. They have been moved from this location. So, we're going to have to do something else. Going to have to improvise. This is what I'm going for, this type of look. Locking latch. Anyways, let's actually like connect these. I look, you need a flat edge, don't I? I need this sort of outline. Question is, how do I do that? Oops. What is that? Oh, that's my downloads. Create. What if I emboss off the surface? We have to play with that. Let me see. This is turning out harder than I thought. Hinges are what I want to be working on. So what I'm going to do is I need to figure out how this is printing. Low key it's going to be printing. Well, I can actually test it now. If I print like this, I can bring up Orca Slicer and then slice it, and then bada bing, bada boom. This is in the room. Yeah, I see that overhang's going to have support. Hypothetically though, if I were to, oops, take this and rotate it about 180 degrees, wrong way, 180 degrees, and then I would have sliced that. Would that need support? Not really, no. So I could actually flatten the top. Raindrop, drop top, smoking and cooking a hot pot. as a certain song said. Not a bad idea to have it flat topped. The problem is if I have a flat top, if I print it the other way, it looks much nicer. So I will be printing it this way. But let's see. Chest bottom. So let's move the chest bottom to the bottom because that makes more sense. So I don't want to be compromising on this design, which means I'm going to need to fix some things. First and foremost, let's change this to 5 actually. It's gonna increase my material cost, but it will be worth it. Because lets me have more maneuverability and more space. Same thing with this one. Nope, that's the same one. Same thing with this offset. We're gonna make this 5. -5. And that should make thicker walls. Yeah, look, I should do the same with the floor, but we're just gonna leave that for now. Because I'm gonna have a piece inside. Actually, you know what? Yeah, I'm gonna do that now. Alright, lid. Gonna create a group. And then bottom, I'm gonna create a group. I'm gonna rename this one to lid. I'm gonna rename this one to base. And just to keep it consistent, we're gonna call this chest base. Why won't it let me rename you? Strange. Oh, because I was already renaming. My bad. Enter. There we go. Yeah. Chest base. Okay, why are you not called base, huh? Rename chest base. Base. There we go. Cool. Now what we're going to do is we're going to make this coin holder. So I want to, once again, create offset. Where's my offset? There it is. Offset the rectangle, and we're going to go to the point where it should be a snug fit, but it should easily come out. And it's gravity fit, so it doesn't need to be too tightly like press fit. So my tolerance is 0.2. I can do a -1, like really close, but still has leeway. Because I don't want this thing moving around. And then we're gonna make this come up. For me, it's gonna come up 50. New body. And this is gonna be called the coin holder. So I'm going to rename this coin holder. And I've changed my mind, actually I want that to be done as 2.5. And then we're going to sketch on here. And that way, it's a mole. So I need 6 coins. Oh, 6 spaces for 6 coins. So let me grab each of these coins. 5, 10, 20, 50, $1, $2. Now I feel like a real pirate. Look, Mom, I'm a real pirate. So we are going to go. Oh, that is an ugly ass 5 cent coin. Most valuable to least valuable, top left to right. Alright. Yeah, so this is going to be done in a hexagon pattern. So we are going to, how do I want to do this? Create 6 circles in hexagon patterns. I should be able to make a 2 tangent circle with a turn off that body with this, and drive that in. What's the oh, the number's not right. Oh, it is 44. 22 then. And then if I just mirror this rectangularly, 44. I want 2 of them. No, I want 3 of them that way, 2 of them this way, and then 3 of them this way. That's not even. Why is that not even? That's strange. Very strange. Should be even. Let me see. So let's go lines across. No, not lines They should go rectangle to give me both dimensions. 138 by 88. Ah, because it's a minus. Okay, that makes sense. That makes a lot of sense, actually. How do we get equidistant points? Let's see, 44. Well, it's going to be 22. And then from here, I'm kidding. 69. Halfway's easy, but I need to divide it into 3. Fortunately, should work. Or rather, 2/3 and 2/3. Is that right? 69. What is that? 23, 46. Yeah, that should be good. And then I can mirror that across here. And then I can draw a line and mirror those across that line there. Now I have points, now I have lines. That's going to show my constraints, so I have to leave that one there. And then I can go coinage, a bit of coinage. Now, measuring the actual diameter, we're going to go with the biggest coin. Biggest coin measures to be about 30 something. Ooh, that's going to be cutting it close. Just let me get my coins arranged again. Fortunately, we are arranging this in a way that has the small coins next to the bigger coins, so I can change it if need be. Can move things around. For the 50 cent, I'm going to ignore Australia's irregular shape and just go with like a larger one. Like I'm going to rule out, I'm just going to make it a circle is what I'm trying to say. That's about 30. Actually, wait, can I see? I should be able to search this up. Australia coin dimensions. Why am I measuring it myself? What in the actual... That was a crown, sovereign. Bro, whoever came up with this, like, system, yeah, I don't know what they were doing, bro. I don't know what they were doing. $200 coins, yeah. Wait, $200 coin. Is that a thing? 1980s $200 coin. Legal tender gold coin. Wow. Huh. How about that? What's the design on it? Koala. Wow, great. God, my voice is not able to do that right now. That's pretty cool. Solid gold. What she says, like, oh yeah, cheers for $2. Actually, $200. I guess if it's made of solid gold, that makes sense. Anyways, we're gonna get a couple of websites tell me. It was 50 cents, 31.5. My measuring tool, my great Smiggle ruler, is telling me that's inaccurate. It's actually 33. So let us go regular coinage. Oh, nice. Let's see. 31.6 across the flats. Ah, across the, okay. I see. Anyways, I'm going to make it slightly wider. 34. We're going with 34 for this one. 34. And then this one we're going to go with dollar. And I will eventually engrave in like symbols and stuff. This one, it's about 25. So let's see, $, no, it is exactly 25. So we're going to make this 26. I do have to add ridges so I can get these coins out. What I'll do, ridges, is I will do that. Maybe give me a sec, sorry. Yeah, I will do that in the middle edge so I can like fill up these coins. $2. What are you? 20. Damn, are you 20? 20.5. Let's go 21.5. Now here we're gonna go 20 cents. 50 cent. This one is just shy of 30, so we're just gonna go 30. 10 cent piece should actually be 26 as well. It's like the same diameter as these. $1. I lied. It is not the same diameter as the $1. Slightly shy of it. We can edit that. That's fine. And then the 5 cent piece should be in theory the same as the $2. 26 across, so we can go 20 at 22. Let's see, what is it actually? Slightly shy. Oh, these are no longer issued. Gold. Collective coins. I wonder if there's a 200. 2000, no. Nothing but $200 coin. Yeah, let's compare these two. 5 cent, 19.41, 19.41, 20. Oh, to be fair, it's Wikipedia. They might have sourced it from the same place. 21. No, I don't care about 2 cents. 23.6, 23.6, 28.65, 28.52. Let me close Orca. I don't need this up. Alright, no. And then, let me see, 26, wait, 10 cent, 23, 26, 30. I mean, these are more than wide enough. Alright, I mean, 25. I think the only one, this might need a little more leeway, so let's go 26.5. Oh, jeez, don't crash my Fusion. 25, 20.5, so 22. 30, 28.65, yeah, 30, 31. Cool. They're all about 1.5 bigger in diameter. I should give it wee room. I can always adjust these numbers later. Now what I want to do is draw lines from the center point here. Here. Now that's not straight. How do I draw a tangential line? I have to use the length. What I can do is I don't need to do anything like that. It just goes point to point, point to point, or rather center to center, I should say. And then I can offset. No, I want line to line. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to offset these lines. And by that metric, I will get something right off my finger. So my finger is about 1.5 centimeters. If I really go down to the edge, let's just say 2. So I want to go with 10 in each direction. You know, that might be the... Okay, my finger ain't got to be that big, bro. Let's go 16, so let's go 8 in each direction. And then, oh wait, god damn it, we can also say symmetric, and we got to do that 3 times. Offset. Select the other line, bro. There we go. I want this 2-sided symmetric, and I want that 8. You can probably see what I'm doing with this, but this will essentially give me leeway. And then offset that one, 2-sided. Oh, sorry, symmetric. 2-sided is different. 8. And eventually this will, no, essentially this will let me just stick my finger in there and dig out the coins. Now I wanted some other consideration. Yes, I wanted the offset of this and this. Let me just select the curves. That. Create offset. I'll put the drip on the plate. Oh, didn't want to offset those. I'm trying to offset these by 2.5. I like 0.5. Make numbers nice. Makes the numbers nice. Oh, then I gotta offset these lines as well. Or do I? No, I don't. I can just leave it as a gap in the wall. 2.5, and then offset. Oh wait, I can just use O to offset. 0.5, offset, 2.5. You got another shortcuts. 2.5 and offset 2.5. Now what I'm going to do is finish that and extrude each of these up as walls. And so each of these walls will hold said coins while also having space for me to dig my finger in just to get rid of them. Or not get rid of them, but pick them up and move around. Alright. And I want to extrude it to the chest. Yes, and so now that is the coin holder. What I'm going to do now is fillet the outside edge of these. Outside edge, got it. Alright, and then we're gonna make it like say 2.5. And that should make it when it prints, it doesn't want to break itself. And then we're also gonna fillet these edges so I don't stab myself on the sharp edges, because if this were hypothetically machined out of metal, can't be having these sharp edges. Technically I should do the internal edges as well then. Well, you're gonna do the internal edges. It's always fun picking out these, that one. Technically I should do them differently, but whatever. Filling round edges. Interesting, maybe I should have done it beforehand. Can't always time travel. Anyways, I'm missing one, I'm missing that one. And that one. 4, 4, 4, 36, yeah, that makes sense, I guess. Let's go 1. See, I don't know if I like that it looks. Oh, 4.5. 2, yeah, 1.5. Oh, that actually doesn't look too bad. Actually, I'm gonna change my mind. I'm gonna fillet these first, and then we're gonna fillet those. Now I only have 3 minutes left, so I gotta hurry. That, and yes, I'm on a trackpad, so there's not much I can do in terms of speed, other than get the skills to pay the bills. That's an old saying. Because what I'm going to do here is round off this nicely. So let's go 1.5. Hypothetically, would it let me do 1.6? No, it won't. 1.5 is the maximum. So we're just going to leave it like that. Round. And then we're going to fillet these bottom edges here, because now there should be one line. I guess they're not. Huh. Actually, that might work out better. I forgot that I want the inside to be completely flat, so that when I put the coins in, it doesn't mess things up. Okay. 2.5. It's not letting me do that. Why are you not letting me do that? 16. Okay, we're gonna cancel. We're gonna bring back the old fillet. There we go. And we're just gonna fillet these ones. Actually, no. We're going to go outside edge, and then we're going to go inside edge, and hopefully, because it is different, it'll give us a different result. With a different result, we'll get better outcomes, and so we'll make that 2. You see, this one is not like that, so we're going to 1.5. However, we are going to do the internal edges as well. They should have a sum total of 12, not 24, because it appears it's taking the round edge as a secondary edge. Who would have thunk? Now, let's go 1.5 and finish that off. Fantastic. Now I have these coin holders, and I think I will call it there for that one. So let's save that and call it coin chest. Save. Alright, and I will continue this tomorrow. Adios.